So this is Baffled, where we want to help you. We want to equip you to understand your misunderstood teen. And my name is Jonathan. And over the course of the next few episodes, we're going to be talking about how to reach young boys in particular. So whether you are a youth pastor, whether you work with youth in the school system, or whether you're a parent just wondering why your traditional approach is not working, we want to help you. Today, we're here with my guest, Marc. Marc is a mentor, a coach with Man Up, a local nonprofit, and he oversees the Higher Life youth development track that they have. And he coaches young boys, particularly that come from an at-risk youth background. So today we're going to be talking about the importance of integrity in a quick fix culture. So Proverbs 10:9 says, whoever walks with integrity walks securely. Whoever takes crooked paths will be found out. Another way of saying it, another proverb said, he who walks with the wise becomes wise. But the one who has a company of fools will suffer harm. So, we have a quick fix culture. We see this with TikTok. We see this with Instagram. We see people only want to put their highlight reel out there, not knowing that success is molded quietly over time. So, how long have you been in the school? It's been a year already?
It's been a year. Yep.
Okay. But even before that, you've been doing youth work for a while. What, maybe from your story, maybe from a student's story, can you share a time where you had to choose the hard right over the easy wrong, and how it has shaped your mentoring philosophy?
The hard right over the easy wrong. Yeah. That's good. Let me think for a second. Especially like in terms of integrity, you know what I'm saying? Saying no, you know what I'm saying? I think it's important, like, especially if you're bent to always say yes to everything, which could be like an undercurrent there of people pleasing. Like saying no for that person can be liberating. And I think something that something my dad would always say growing up, and I sometimes find it saying to my kids, and it's like, what the heck? But he would always say maybe, you know what I'm saying, when we would ask for things. And we kind of had learned to custom that maybe meant no. And it wasn't.
But it gave you hope.
Yes, it did, for sure. It definitely gave us hope. And it wasn't that he was cruel, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you can't have everything at every moment. And so I think with integrity and youth and doing the right thing is gonna entail resistance. It's gonna entail not the comfortable path. But the path that would definitely be less traveled, but more fulfilling and more rewarding. I think about back to my Trinity days, you know what I'm saying? I had the opportunity to go to a J. Cole concert. You know what I'm saying? And this is the height, you know what I'm saying? So this is like 2014 Forest Hills Drive. And I had a paper due. And it wasn't a little paper.
10 page.
You know what I'm saying?
10 pager.
You know how it be. And so it was fail this class or go to this J. Cole concert. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to make the decision to, all right, give my ticket to my brother and he can go to the concert, even though I like want to see my favorite artist. And it's like, I had another opportunity down the road to do that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the time and place. And I think that's what's important. There's a time and place for everything. You know what I'm saying? And the difficulty of being in a consumer society is I need it all right now. You know what I'm saying? And no is looked at as like you coming against me. And I think making right decisions is going to entail making hard decisions, difficult ones that are not popular, that are not widely accepted, but that put the dominoes in, or put the chips, so to speak, in the right investment instead of the wrong one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I believe if we're gonna like if we're gonna practice godliness, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like the righteous things I do, but get more righteousness. You know what I'm saying? And I think that points to what I reap, I will sow. You know what I'm saying? And I think that has a lot to do with integrity.
Yeah. When I do, depending on the presentation we do at school, sometimes we've done leadership, time management, we've done bullying. Today I did peer pressure.
Yeah.
We'll talk about relationships. I'm always telling kids to choose the hard right over the easy wrong. Mainly is because young people are very impressionable. They're very gullible and they don't think 5, 6, 7 steps ahead. So, for example, when we were talking about peer pressure, I just asked them, can you guys share a story? And then I'll ask them, all right, so why did you give into peer pressure? And then they're telling me why. And I was like, yeah, I get it. People pleasing, fear of man, we all struggle with it in some way, shape, or form, especially when there are power dynamics. And some of those power dynamics are not necessarily like it's my boss or it's the pastor. No, some power dynamics are just influential. So if you're like a lot of the times with the students who we're ministering to and we're serving, their power dynamics all has to do with that's the coolest kid in school. That's the most popular girl in school. That like it's a power dynamic.
Yeah.
And now they're asking me for a favor. It's like, you don't understand my social life is at stake here. I'm like, let me tell, and then I tell them, like, let me tell you something. What happens this year don't matter 10 years from now.
Yes.
15 years from now.
Exactly.
Like, get your head in those books. That's what's gonna matter. But as we think about like influencer culture, you hear a lot, and like I'm on the other side of it now, but 2 years ago, I'm sitting as a teacher, and I just asked all the kids, the students, like, what do y'all want to be for growing up? Some said doctors, others said other things, but one said, I want to be a Twitch streamer, and another one said a YouTuber. And I sat there, I was like, why do you want to be a Twitch streamer? I was like, well, you know who Kai Cenat is? I was like, yeah, I heard of him, but why? It's like, he makes millions of dollars just playing video games and talking to people on a computer all day. I was like, what? And then the other person's like, yeah, I want to be a YouTube influencer, a TikTok influencer. I want to get all these brand deals. And I'm sitting here, I was like, they're looking for the quick fix. And what ends up happening is, I do YouTube, right? But a lot of work goes in.
Yeah.
If you were to talk to Ruslan or talk to the other YouTubers, they'll tell you, it's like, yeah, you got to start. You got to be willing to make mistakes. You got to be willing to go for the grind. And we get so enamored with the finished product that we don't even understand what it took to get there. So how do you help these young boys know the difference between like their reputation and their character?
Yeah.
Like the reputation is what people think, and the character is like what God knows, like, and how the two, there's an intersection, but even like, guys, you know, your reputation matters. Like, how do you help young boys kind of see that like their reputation is really of importance as they move forward in life?
Yeah, no, that's good. A question that I asked, which didn't originate with me, I heard it from another mentor, guy who does mentorship. He said, what's more important, what you have or what you become? And I like to pose that question quite often. And most students say, it's not what I have, it's what I become, who I'm going to be. And that's legacy. You know what I'm saying? And that starts now. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't start after high school. For wherever your young person is at, it starts right now. You know what I'm saying? And it's every decision, every reaction, every cause has an effect. You know what I'm saying? And so getting them to see that, and like this instant generation, the influencer generation, like, there's the fear of going viral for the wrong reason. You know what I'm saying? Especially like in the high school setting. You're building a house, which is you. You know what I'm saying? And how do you do that? Brick by brick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta lay it brick by brick. Just lay a brick every day. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll look up and have a brick wall. You know what I'm saying? But it's with the decisions you make. You know what I'm saying? You skip a class once. You know what I'm saying? But you skip a class twice. You know what I'm saying? You're starting to build these habits. You know what I'm saying? Now you're looking like, oh, I have 17 absences in this class. Why? That didn't just fall into your lap.
Yeah.
You drifted that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're not intentional with what you're doing, you're just gonna be thrown to and from, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever's cool, whatever's popping right now.
I think even like the desire to go viral and even going viral for the wrong reason, I try to tell them. I've said this in another episode, but I even tell this all the time when we talk. Last week we talked like whether it's peer pressure, whether it's healthy relationships. I tell them like, guys, if you go viral and you're a viral sensation and it was for something dumb, and you did it while you were a teenager, you know that becomes a liability. And like, but I became famous. I was like, yeah, but then no school is gonna want to let you come to their school. Like no one's gonna want to hire you if this is what comes with it.
Yeah.
And there was like, really? I was like, even if I'm famous, yeah. There's this one girl, Catch Me Outside, how about that? And now you look at her trajectory and I'm like, yeah, she went viral, but she's only famous for foolishness. And you kind of want to guide her, like, is this what you want to be known for? Going back to who do you want to become? And sadly, the girls catch it quicker than our young boys. And it's almost like you want to, there's something about young boys that they think they're smarter than you. And it's like, no, you're not smarter than me. Like I've been, you think you're smarter than you're not. You think you're not going to get caught. Yeah. And it's like, they have to be told, listen, if you keep going down this path, this is it. And they need to kind of be told with a detailed plan. This is what you need. This is why I'm a fan of like those scare straight programs. Like you send them to prison, let them like, if you keep like scare it out of them. But ultimately you and I know that's going to take a work from the Lord. Like the Lord himself has to kind of use all of these things to pull the leaven out of them, so to say. So how do you help instill in them that integrity is, that it matters more in their adolescence than at any stage? Yeah. Like, how do you instill that?
I think I just always got to go back to like meeting them where they're at is so important. Yeah. And obviously helping them understand what's the right thing. Yeah. What's the right thing to do? You know what I'm saying? And what are the choices here? You know what I'm saying? So something we do in one of our sessions as an icebreaker is the ethical dilemma of, it's like the sinking ship. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you have this ship that's crashed, you know what I'm saying? And there's just one lifeboat. Yeah. And you can only fit 6 people in a lifeboat and there's 10 people. So it's just a bunch of different characters. Yeah. And I partner them up and they have to select, you know what I'm saying? They got to make a choice on who's the 6 that I'm going to keep. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I have students that didn't participate in the assignment at all. They're like, oh, it's too hard, too difficult to make a choice here. And so then you have this dialogue going on because this group chose these 6 people over these, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, but it's a pointer. What does it point to? Like, and they always ask them like, what's the right answer? Yeah. And they're like, did we get the right answer? Did we get the right answer? And some people are like, is there a right answer? And there is no right answer, right? It's just an ethical dilemma. But what it does point to is your worldview. Yeah. And the way you make decisions and why you make decisions. So why do most of my boys who do that icebreaker don't choose the woman who thinks she's 6 weeks pregnant? Why don't they choose her? I'm saying, well, women lie all the time. And there's a distrust here. She might be lying. She thinks she's pregnant. Well, we're not gonna save her. There's a distrust there. What is that? It's exposing your worldview. But at the end of the day, it's about choices. And I always point to like, hey, you might not have to choose whether someone's going to live or die, but you're going to make choices that are forming your life. You know what I'm saying? And it starts now, you know what I'm saying? So just giving them language to things, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I think that's why Jesus spoke in parables a lot. It was something that the culture, they knew immediately. It made perfect sense to them, made perfect sense. Doesn't make much sense to us at times because we're so far removed from that culture. But Jesus is speaking in parables. You know what I'm saying? so that the people can understand these spiritual truths.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think we have to speak in language and ways that our boys and our young girls understand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That it can click for them. Oh, okay, it makes sense. That's why I should do this over this. We have to bring it to them, because if not, they're just going to be pulled by whatever's cool, whatever's popular, whatever's on the up.
I shared the just even on the subject of integrity. Last week did a presentation. We were talking about relationships and values and how honesty is a good value.
Yeah.
And one of the stories I shared, I was like, hey guys, not saying this to glorify drugs or anything, but there was one time I was driving with some friends in the car and we were dropping a friend off. And I was pulled over because I had one of my brake lights were out or tail lights was out. And officer comes, license, registration, everything's all cool. Everything's good. And everybody's nervous because we're under the influence. And everybody's like nervous, but everything's cool. And he comes back, gives me license, registration, and he was like, hey, I got one last question. Are you sober? It just right away just asked me, were you smoking or were you up to something? It was like 15 years ago. And I just looked at him and he looked at me, and it's like so silent. It's like you can hear a pin drop in the car. And I told him, yeah, officer, I was smoking. He was like, smoking what? And to me, my whole thought process, and my boys hated it, was like, if he's asking me this, it's because he already knows. So I was like, oh, I was smoking weed, officer. Yeah. He was like, step outside the car. And everybody's like, oh, our night is over. Yeah. And then he just has a full-blown conversation. Is there any drugs in the car? No, officer. You can search the car. We were smoking at my house. I'm gonna go take my friend home and we're going right back home. That's all that, like, I would not be on the road if it were not for that purpose. He was like, are you sure? I was like, so if you want to get the dogs and you want to, sure, you could do whatever you want, officer. I guarantee you. So he came. Sorry, I go back to the car. He came back, told me, go home. Like, go drop your friend off and then go home. Don't want you on the road. And my friends looked at me and was like, how'd you get off? I was like, I think it's because I was honest. Yeah. I think, as I told him, I think it was because I was, if he was like, but why were you honest? Like, why didn't you? I was like, if he, and it goes back, if he asked me and he's looking at me, it's because he's assuming. Yeah. My eyes are glossy. Like, I'm not going to sit here and lie. Yeah. And then, so to me, that one encounter showed me, you know what? I should just live with honesty. Like, if certain people ask me I just need to assume that they know. I don't need to project that I have it all together. I don't need to project that I'm perfect. Yeah. If they're asking me a question, hey, for example, if it's work related, hey, I didn't get the email. Did you happen to send it out? I don't have to lie and cry and say, hey, no, maybe it's in your spam. Maybe it's no, you know what? I'm sorry. Like, work was hectic yesterday and I forgot to send it. I am so sorry. Little thing, like, that's integrity. Show, like, within those moments. So even when you go with the young boys and they kind of feel like, hey, why weren't you here last week? I was really hoping that you can kind of share, like, hey, I had this family emergency. Yeah. This is like, I wanted to be here. Like, if I could, I would have been here. All of those things.
Yeah, that's fire. I love that. Because even too, like, I mean, honesty is just a best policy. You know what I'm saying? It's something we value in our space. And we do a session on the ego. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We all have negative, when we think of the ego, we sometimes go towards the negative. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that guy has an ego, blah, 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 blah. But like, the ego is designed to protect us. You know what I'm saying? It's a tool to help us. Yeah. But it often has bad results. We use it incorrectly. And so that's the whole thing of, like, us struggling, especially men, with admitting when we drop the ball. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard for us to do that. Why? Because we don't want to be perceived a certain way. Yeah. And yeah, just living with honesty, it's just better, even if you're in the wrong. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so we, like, you can run from the consequences. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it's just gonna stack up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna stack up and catch you later. So I think it's especially for the boys, it's really just validating their journey. You know what I'm saying? And I think understanding that you're not your mistakes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And there is opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to make the right decision and turn it around and trend in another direction.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A group of boys at a group of young men at another program that I was running, we ended up, one of our speakers called out. So we ended up showing the 13th documentary on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, watch. It's basically the
mass incarceration.
Yeah, absolutely. Education to prison pipeline. And so we're watching it and we finish it and I'm facilitating. We broke it up into two sessions. And at the end of it, just asking the boys what they thought, just asking a series of questions. And one boy's like, man, ain't no hope. Ain't no hope. And he's giving his reasons why. And then this other boy, 17, he was like, you know what? I think there is hope. And he said, I can't change my black skin, but I can change the way that I live.
That's right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, boom.
That's it.
That's it. That's it. Like, it's like I don't have to look over my shoulder if I'm gonna do the right thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And there are things that we can control and can't control. You know what I'm saying? We can't change the fact that we minorities, that we're black and brown, you know what I'm saying? That we grew up from where we grew up. But we can change how we live. And that won't necessarily erase hardship for us. You know what I'm saying? But it will empower us to live free.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think much more so with the gospel, you know what I'm saying, does to our lives and our hearts.
When I was in high school, I shared the story this morning. There was these two young men at the school who would literally go to school every day in a shirt and a tie. And they were young black boys, two young black boys, but they would go to school when everybody else is wearing oversized t-shirts, baggy jeans, jerseys, Jordans. But those two boys, Langdon and Hezekiah, would wear a shirt and tie to school. They were on the basketball team, but everyone knew they always took advanced placement class. They were smart, but everybody knew that they're going to be successful. They knew these guys are going to be successful. They didn't take school was not a game to them. And Langdon, not sure, I have him on Facebook, but I know he does some acting now. Hezekiah started like a Fortune 500 business. Wow. He's no longer with us. He's going to be with the Lord. He passed away in a car accident a few years ago. But you saw where they were headed. Like and it was like later in life, it was also because they had 2-parent household. Parents were Christians. They were Christians. Like they lived their faith, stayed pure in high school. And you look at some of these things and I look back, I'm like, man, I wish I had what they had. Like, we made fun, like me and my friends would make fun of them. And now looking back, I was like, no, I wish all my boys were like them.
And everybody remembers them, right?
Yeah, and everybody remembers it. Yeah. And sit here and I wish, and I told them that story this morning, because I was like, they didn't succumb to peer pressure. They were comfortable in their own skin. They were comfortable being laughed at or whatever because they didn't go to parties or whatever, because they were forward thinking. They were thinking about their future. They was like, I don't have time to goof around now with this because I have goals. So yeah, that's the we talk about goal setting, and if you have goals for yourself, then create a system of how you're going to meet those goals. So what you mentioned of how no is a powerful word. What can you say yes to? What can you say no to? Like, what are the things needed? So when it comes to even integrity with young boys, is like teaching them how, like, what are your goals? How do you meet those goals? How do you create a system for those goals? And how do you stay true to yourself? Like, how do you hold yourself accountable with those goals? Like, how do you, like, you want to meet this goal, but how do you do it in a way that you don't cut corners? Another story.
That's good.
Like when I was teaching, same thing, because now we have the rise of AI. And I caught one of the students. He submitted an assignment, and I just read it. I was like, oh no, he used AI. He used ChatGPT. I know it. And I pulled him to the side, And I said, sit down. Did you write this? Buckle down. Yeah, I wrote this. I was like, bro, you don't talk like this. You don't write like this. Who wrote this? I used AI, Mr. Reyes. Like, he was like, okay. Now, here's what I'm gonna, and then I told him, here's what I'm gonna do. Because I know AI is a thing, and I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't use it, because I do as a tool, but I don't let it think for me and I don't let it speak for me. But at the same time, I said, listen, I'm gonna give you another shot at doing this assignment. I'm not gonna call your mom. I'm not gonna call your parents. But if I catch you, like, I'm letting you, it's like that element, I'm giving you grace, but at the same time, but if I catch you again, like, I have to call your parents and let them know that you plagiarized, that you cheated, and they're not sending you to private school to be a cheater. So you're catching it now. And praise God that you're catching it now at 14 years old, not later in life.
Yeah. No, that's good, bro. It reminds me of just like, obviously, grace, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
The importance of, like, if you're gonna give law, you know what I'm saying, that's what you're gonna receive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think, like, the aspect of grace is not seen even those outside the family. You know what I'm saying? Of faith. Like, grace is just not a reality. It's like, I'm gonna get penalized. And if I can avoid, you know what I'm saying, I'll do whatever I can to not get caught, so to speak. I had a situation where we would do leadership and life skill. We bring in speakers, and at another program I was at, this guy was leading the session, and one of the boys was just could care less to be there, was listening to music, just trying to do his own thing, came in late, and the instructor confronted him. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, I need you to blah, 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 blah. And they had a confrontation, and the boy went off. Oh, blah, 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 ready to fight, da, 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 da. So I got him, brought him to the front, and just hearing him out. I'm saying he's venting. He's going in, oh, he shouldn't be able to blah, 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 blah. I'm just listening. You know what I'm saying? Just listening. And we get on to what the wrong things that he did. You know what I'm saying? That he acknowledged. And then I just asked him, I said, if you could have a redo, would you take it? He was like, I would. And I just asked him, what would you do differently in that situation? And he just shared, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I would have took my headphone out. You know what I'm saying? I would have not been in disruption. You know what I'm saying? I would have sat there, did what he said. And I said, okay. I said, when that session is over, you know what I'm saying? I think you should apologize. You know what I'm saying? Do you think you could do that? He's like, yeah, Coach Marc, I'm gonna do that. Giving the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to make it right, I think is important for our boys. It helps them learn. It helps them grow. I mean, I need redo sometimes, bro.
Tell me about it.
You know what I'm saying? So why wouldn't the young people we work with more so, who quote unquote are not mature as us at times, but sometimes they're more mature than me at times. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I need grace just as much as the next man, just as much as the next youth. And we're not better than them, and they're not better than us. You know what I'm saying? But we're all journeying and navigating. So I just think that grace piece is important for growth. You know what I'm saying? And for building integrity. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's perfect out here.
So even on the topic of integrity, so I want to bring this up with not an intention of shame, but it's like a huge public thing, the Coldplay concert. And some people are upset that the CEO was forced to resign over that incident. It was like, I don't like that, your personal choices should affect your job. And to me, I'm reading it and I'm sitting there, I was like, the reason why the CEO was forced to resign, it's a myriad of reasons. Like, one, that you brought reproach on the business. So now stakeholders are going to pull back. Shareholders are going to pull back. So you're going to hurt financially unless he steps down. He's probably given that ultimatum from the board. Two, he just revealed that he's not a man of character, that he was willing to compromise not only his business, but his family, his kids, his wife for a moment, like for an affair. If he's willing to do that to his family, you think he won't do that These are all the things that people don't understand with integrity, with like, you know, he showed you, you know, who he was in public, and then even worse with his statement afterwards, like, oh, bro,
he didn't want really much of a
he was mad that he got caught. He was mad. He was like, this is a private moment. They should have never flashed the camera. I was like, bro, you shouldn't have been cheating. Like, that's it. But, you know, I like taking pieces of culture and showing students like, hey, you saw what happened. Like, he lost everything. One moment, lost everything. If he, you know, was a person of integrity, he wouldn't have nothing to deal with. Like, nothing to worry about. That's why integrity is so valuable. And we want young people to kind of get that, because it's one thing to say, you know, you mentioned, you know, the external forces. There are certain things that are outside of your control, but the things that are within your control, you can how you respond to situations. If you're honest, God is going to put you in certain situations to reveal character or to mold character. Like, it is life. So if you're in a situation at work and they call you out, it's a time, am I honest and, you know, and fall on the sword, or do I lie for self-preservation? And what I often teach from experience, if you lie out of self-preservation, it's not going to go well, because then you're going to have to lie again, and you have to lie again, and you have to lie again, and eventually you're going to get found out. So it's just a lot easier when you're just honest, even if it makes you look bad. And as we talk about relationships, it's actually a better quality, because now it shows that you're humble. It's all of these other qualities stem from honesty, or whether the root is humility, that's a whole other conversation. But, you know, integrity is key.
For sure.
So as we land the plane, do you have any thoughts or any takeaways that you want to give to the people who are watching?
I think,
or listening.
Especially like with that, I think responsibility, you know what I'm saying, ownership, like with more responsibility, you know what I'm saying? The more responsibility you have, the more you're responsible for, you know what I'm saying? So like for a youth, he might not be responsible for much now, you know what I'm saying? But his decisions will grow his responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's you having kids, etc., marriage, work, you know what I'm saying, becoming a supervisor, like your responsibility is increasing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you could take responsibility now, especially for the small things that you're doing, you know what I'm saying? We always hear like, oh, I'm never going to use geometry again. But you are building a skill, you know what I'm saying, of completing assignments, you know what I'm saying, and being given something and following through. So I think like everything starts with a seed, right? And we're either gonna water that, or that thing's gonna die. So I would just encourage, fan the flame of that which is good, that which is redeemable, and strive, you know what I'm saying, to do the right thing. Not just when people are watching, you know what I'm saying, but especially much more when no one's watching. That's a testament to character and growth.
That's good. So if you're watching, just one thing to reflect on: what's one thing over these past couple of episodes that has challenged your thinking, specifically with dealing with at-risk youth? They're more than just a statistic. They're souls made in the image of God. And how can you apply this with your teen this week? So again, my name is Jonathan. Marc, it was a pleasure having you on.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
This is Baffled, where we want to equip you to understand your misunderstood teen. What we're going to try to do is also equip you with some resources. So I mentioned the Anxious Generation right here. Read that book if you're a parent. Bad Therapy by Abigail Shrier. There's a lot of good resources to help you understand this new generation. So guys, catch you on the next one.